Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Axlgrease. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging, and I have to say, Hasbro Pulse, I'm a little bit disappointed with the condition of my packaging. It's beat all to hell, and so was Beachcomber, so not really the best method used for shipping. That little paper wraparound thing does not give much protection at all. Parents, scan this! And then anybody else out there who wants to scan it, you can pause it right here and scan that, and it will give you some more information on Axlgrease. On the front, we have 8 and Up to Karatomi, Generations Transformers Legacy Evolution, Hasbro print, Deluxe class, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a barcode, and includes figure and 7 accessories. On this side, we've got some nice artwork of Axlgrease in her robot mode, which I do believe they said that she is a female Junkion. And then we have that nice Legacy Evolution artwork here. And just a reminder, in case you missed it, on the front, plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. Then on the back side, we've got some nice digital renders of the figure in both modes and exploded apart there. And Evolution here, or Evo Fusion here. And Transformers More Than Meets the Eye. Bleh. Axlgrease. And then each sold separately, subject to availability. Warning! Attention! Achtung! Don't stick anything in any pie hole that does not belong there in any language. And don't give it to babies. Small fine legalese made in Vietnam print. And another symbol I'm not going to learn. Hasbro print. That, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure in her alt mode and her accessories, and really all her accessories are attached to her at this point. So basically it's just the instructions, nicely illustrated, no blurring. So nicely printed, easy to follow. And that's it for the instruction manual. Let's take a look at Axlgrease herself. Our first female Junkion figure. Also our first Decepticon Junkion figure. So overall, I think this, it fits right in with that Junkion Mad Max aesthetic that Legacy is going for, or Legacy Evolution is going for at least. Nice paint apps here, and just nice colors overall. I do see a lot of this that is molded in color on this figure, but there's some paint apps here, as well as on the grill. And just this whole like silvery section of the hood there. The engine has paint on it. These pipes This is molded in plastic. This is molded in color of the hook, and these seem to have some paint on them as well, because this little hatchbacky piece is painted as well. It's part of this little engine piece. Now, in the instructions, I went a little off book there, but in the instructions, it does show to put the hook here, but I don't really like that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense if these are supposed to be some kind of turbo boosters there. Let's put the hook here, and then she has the ability to tow something if she needs to. Kind of like a ball hitch. And it did come apart there, but that's okay. It just snaps right back together. Now on this, there is some retooling from Scrap Hook. Like the whole front end section here. Maybe some of this too. What the engineering for the transformation is exactly the same as Scrap Hook, but I like the colors on this. This is really cool looking, rather than those normal Junkion colors we've been getting. The real muted, earthy colors. But that, my friends, does it for a look at the figure in her alt mode and accessories. It's time for alt mode comparisons, and here we have the Transformers Legacy Evolution Axlgrease with a couple of fellow Junkions. Legacy Evolution Crash Bar and Legacy Evolution Scrap Hook. Here's Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class Axlgrease with the Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee and the Amazon exclusive Leader Class Earthrise Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comedy portion of our program where I attempt to transform this Transformer. And the first thing I like to do, and you don't necessarily have to do this, but there's some of it that you do have to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull off all of the accessory pieces, and you can see this one has a nice silver paint app over most of it. Same thing for this one. And let's get the engine, or the top of the engine, at least unmounted there, and you can see it looks like it's molded in this gunmetal-y color, and then it has these nice silver paint apps on the top for these pipes and the top of the engine here. Now this piece, it does split apart. Whether I can make it do it or not, that's another question. It's another reason we keep handy dandy tweezers around, but one of these days I'm gonna break something. There we go. So you may need to get something to pry this apart, and as you can see, there's a tab and a slot, and a slot and a tab, and they just tab together. Alright, almost all of the accessories off. I mean, you know it, I just cut my fingernails today. Alright, then you have this whole piece here that pulls off, and this is actually two pieces, just like the engine part, tab and slot, slot and tab. and they or tab and slot. Anyway, you put those together, then you port them into position, and as you can see, it's got nice little paint apps here, and very nice looking. Now let's start with the actual transformation. And of course, being a Legacy Evolution Junkion, she does pull apart just like the others do, but you don't necessarily have to do that in order to transform the figure. Now I'm going to start back here. Well, first we'll undo these panels, and you can see there's a tab right here, and then the slot is right here, and it's the same on the other side as well. So we'll unclip those. And you can also see there's a tab here that fits a slot on the inside here, and then the reverse on the front end, tab on the outside, and slot right there. So first thing we're going to do, and she may fall apart when I do this, and if that's the case, it's not a big deal. But you want to separate these two pieces, and as you can see, it's already getting some stress marks on this part right here. So this is a tab, and it's kind of eye-shaped here, like the letter I at the top. But you can't really slide it in and out because of this piece right here that goes into this right here. So, but you can see it's already starting to get a little bit of stress marks on it, and even here where it's going in and out, I see a little bit of stress marking there as well. But you can go ahead and you can pull those apart, and once you have them apart, you want to unfold them. You can see there's a tab right here and a port right there for it, or a slot for it. But anyway, straighten the arm up, turn it so where the elbow joint is facing front, and then turn the wrist so that it all lines up like this. And we'll do the same thing with the other arm as well. Turn, twist, bend it, and then we can go ahead and straighten these up as well. So set those off to the side. Now we want to get the feet loosened up, so let's go ahead and separate them. Then lift up just slightly on this part right here, and it starts to work it loose. And right here it's on a double hinge, or double jointed hinge, whatever you want to call it, so that you can push it forward. As you can see, here's part of the hinge, and then there's the other part. So there, we can do that part. And let's just put these out just a bit. And right here there's a tab right here, and I think it's already come loose. It did. There's a slot right here, so when you're transforming it into vehicle mode, that fits down onto that tab. But we can leave that like that. The whole cabin, top of the cabin at least, flips up like this. Then flip the head out, and you can take these two panels and close them together, and you can see there's a tab and a hole, tab and a hole, or slot, whatever you want to call it. And you just line those up as you close that down. And you just go ahead and straighten it up here, and you want to fold this piece up, and as you can see, that's the chest plate. But you want to make sure you get the head in there properly. And then you'll notice there's tabs right here, and then there's slots right here on this panel where the head rests. And you just want to make sure you line those up as you close these down, and that will lock all of that into place. Spin it around at the waist, or spin her around at the waist. Then we're back to the arms, and you see there's ports here, posts here, and you just put those parts back into place. Now that is it for the basic transformation, but now we've got all these extra parts to put back on, and I'm probably going to go off script here a little bit, or at least off the instructions, and just put these on the way I want them on. So I like the pipes coming out of the wheel on the arms. You can also put them here if you want, you know, whatever it is you want to do. Now these pieces here can be used as small guns. You can stick them back together and it can be like a double gun. But what I like to do is put them here in these ports on the side of the forearm so that they're attached, right? And then you want this window part facing in, and you want to use this most rear post and just post that into the hand, and do that on both sides. And then in the instructions, of course, it puts the hook in one of these, and that's fine, I guess. You know, you can do that. It just looks a little weird or sloppy to me, and I wish there was another way to post this somewhere else where it really just wasn't visible. But you can post it here on the back. That kind of gets it out of the way. You can put it down here on the leg if you want, in the tire. You can post it up here, where, you know, just wherever. Or you can follow the directions, put it in the gun. You can put it on top of one of the guns. And one thing I want to mention, this is a very soft, or I won't say very soft. It's a much softer plastic than what you might be used to with scrap hook. So it does bend slightly. Righty. There is Axlgrease, all transformed. Let's take a look at Axlgrease in her robot mode, and I'm not going to pull all of this stuff back off of her because this is how I want her to be equipped. But as far as the deco and stuff goes, I mean, there's some here. This might actually be a little bit of paint too on this chest, and this chest piece is retooled or maybe an entirely new piece from scrap hook. But anyway, it is different than scrap hook. The legs also, at least from the knees down, are different. The arms are the same. This part is the same. Most of the torso. The head, of course, is different. And it kind of looks like her brain is hanging out, yeah? Anyway, she still looks cool, even in her robot mode. She looks pretty cool still. Now, you can't really see from this side, so she doesn't really look up or down. No chicken neck, no waggle. She can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, 360-degree rotation, and it raises up short of 90 degrees. Just above the elbow, at the lower bicep, there is a 360-degree rotation. And there is a double hinge here. There's a hinge here and a hinge here. and it will only give you that much bend though. So there is that. Now she does have a cut at the waist for a 360-degree rotation. At the hips, she can give you the full splits. She can kick forward past 90 degrees and backwards approximately 90 degrees. Now at the knee, that's where the swivel is. There's not one in the thigh. There's a swivel here at the knee for 360-degree rotation, and it does have one hinge, and it will give you approximately a 90-degree bend. Now at the foot, she does have some tilt. Down that far, up that far. You do have to work this double hinge though. And then she does have rocker as well. That, my friends, is a look at the figure in her robot mode. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Axlgrease with two other Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Junkions, Scrap Hook and Crash Bar. For our final set of robot mode comparisons, here we have Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Axlgrease with Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee and the Walmart exclusive Leader class Netflix War for Cybertron trilogy Optimus Prime. For final thoughts on the Transformers Legacy Evolution Deluxe class Axlgrease, I have to say there is a lot of reuse from Scrap Hook in here, and that's fine. It works. Of course, the head is a new mold. The chest plate has been retooled, and the legs, I don't know if they've been retooled or if they just made new legs. It seems like the legs are new. The engineering as far as the transformation goes is exactly the same. She comes apart exactly the same, and she has the same and some similar accessories. The hook is the same. The pipes are the same except for the color. Of course, she has the engine blasters, which Scrap Hook also had engine blasters, but they are different, so there is that. And she does not have the tow bar that the hook connects into. Instead, she has those two turbo boost engine pieces, I guess you could call them. And the reuse here and the retooling, it works well for this figure. I do like the colors on this one. They look very interesting to me. However, not very Junkion. Even though she is a Decepticon Junkion, which we've never heard of before. I always thought of Junkions as unaligned, leaning toward Autobot. But that's just me. Your mileage, of course, may vary. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews or just help the channel out further. Or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.